Here now is Kim Strassel, Wall Street Journal editorial board member and Fox News contributor. We are so excited to have you on the show today because you were the one who uncovered this first and really brought out this idea that there was someone in the Trump campaign that seemed to be an informant of some type, and sort of started the ball rolling and asking these questions. What do you think of where it's gone and where it is today?
Look, I think it's important that the president is now aware of this, and what this meeting is doing and what he tweeted over the weekend get to two very important parts going forward if we want to know the whole situation. One is indeed having the Inspector General of the Department of Justice look at this. They were already doing a probe into whether or not FISA had committed any, or FBI had committed any FISA abuse. Now they'll look at this spying claim. But the other one is finally getting the Department of Justice, if it's possible, to hand over documents to Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes, who really does get the credit for starting this a couple of weeks ago with his inquiry to the Department of Justice.
Yeah. What do you think of this? I mean, so the defense that we've heard today from the other side and over the weekend, I'm sure you heard it from the Democrat side, has been, okay, so the FBI had somebody that they were, was doing work for them anyway, who happened to bump up against people who were connected to the Trump campaign who were already doing things that were very suspicious. So it's no surprise that these two people would bump up against each other.
Okay, so the amount of deflection that's been going on here and trying to minimize what is in fact the news that this former FBI heads were spying on a presidential campaign has been extraordinary. People saying, oh, it's not spying, it's just an informant, oh, they just bumped up. No, this was a source of the FBI and the CIA's that was deliberately tasked with going and gathering information on the Trump campaign and reporting it back to law enforcement. That is called spying. It is a big deal. I can't think of any time in modern memory that anything like this has happened before. And so my advice is people should treat this with the gravity it deserves. There is no way to minimize what happened here.
So people say we have to know, what was going on that brought about the suspicion in the first place. Some will say maybe nothing, and this was just about spying. Will we ever know that? I mean, is there any way to know for sure? Was there already nefarious activity that attracted attention? Or can we prove definitively that wasn't the case and that this was really straight up spying? Well, will anyone be satisfied at the end of this, basically?
I think that there are answers, and they're contained within the Department of Justice, and that's why it's so important that those records be handed over. Because, look, at this point, we have received numerous different stories about how this got started. So some say it was because of George Papadopoulos and an overheard conversation in a London bar. Some of them say it's because of the dossier. There are documents there that explain this. There's also information, I think, probably about what happened in the spring and the summer that the FBI and the Department of Justice have not been honest about. They haven't given us a full picture. But if the House Intelligence Committee can get these, I think we could finally get some answers.
Yeah. And what do you think about it? The editorial board on Friday, said, and President Trump kind of belly flopped right into the center of it in his way with the tweet. Do you think the tweet was helpful in that it focuses the investigation, or do you think it muddies the waters?
As with so many things, having the president aware of this information and having people in his White House take steps to make sure that congressional subpoenas are complied with, that's all good. That's always a separate question from whether or not the president is prudent in some of his tweets and the things that he just throws out there.
Well, Kim Strassel, please stay on it. I mean, we watch for everything that you put out. You have been so determined on this one and really making progress. Great work. Thank you. Thanks for coming on.